welcome to this Best Life Now with me, Espen, and we have our beautiful Best Life leader here, Jen.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
Jen. So good to come together for more expansion in. We're recently listening to Abraham now, so I'm just taking it in, feeling good, and moving on and expanding out here now. So it's just finished for 50 minutes ago. So much goodness in the information from Abraham now, and it's a now. It is in the newness of the now and forward, always, and refreshing, and feels easier and easier more and more listening. For myself, what I've been listening, I feel more and more easy about everything, more and more, because it's clarifying that the energy of all that's going on, and that is nothing is going wrong, but all is good. And when we can come to our place from our non-physical, because there was something Abraham expanding on. She was clarifying, that was very clarifying for myself as well, and she expanding on that there is contrast everywhere, but from the non-physical there is no resistance to it. So
Yeah.
we can tune into the non-physical, and we have a non-physical energy in us. So when we tune in there, we feel no resistance to the contrast that's happening around us. And that's quite different, because there's always new things happening. There's always changing, and things are moving, and condition happening. But it's not about how to change the outside of it. It's to enjoy yourself, the non-physical, the feeling goodness, that who we truly are from inside of us. And then what we look from the outside, it will be quite different from the non-physical, because it has no resistance. Well-being is more to come in the wellness of that energy. So
Mhm.
Jen, do you want to expand on that?
Yes, I would love to. And I was so happy when they made that clarification today. I know, they've spoken of it before, that there's contrast, but it's not the same, right? But I love that they said there is contrast, but there's no resistance. And really, isn't this is the key to us really being able to be in the flow in our own life here in this human experience. Abraham, right from the very first of these broadcasts and in all of their teachings, has basically said, don't push against anything, right? Just
Mm.
acknowledge. And then, just you can pivot if it's little, just make a little pivot. Or if it's a bigger contrast, then just generalize it out and flow it forward. Like, well, generally, is it like this? And just kind of rebridge. But don't push against anything, because this is a law of attraction universe. And they said it so many times. This is a law of attraction universe. It's only and always attraction. There is no assertion. And when we think we're asserting, we're trying to push something away or stand up for ourselves or any of those things. We are actually drawing that unwanted to us in a very powerful way. When we say no, we're saying yes. Right.
Yeah.
And this is really, I love it when you do this with little kids, right? Because when you tell them, no, don't do that, they are all about doing that because they are tuned in, right? They're like, oh, okay. But when you can come about it in a non-pushing way with kids, you can kind of explain, like, see those big cars? That's much bigger than us. That space is for cars. We can cross it from time to time, but it's generally their space, just like the cars don't come in our yard, right? You can explain it to kids and they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense, right? But if you just tell them, no, you gotta really, have your eyes open, because you've told them something that's contrary to the law of attraction. And that's why sometimes, and if you watch kids, I'm just feeling kids today, but if you watch kids, you see them, and sometimes somebody will tell them, don't do something, and they're almost like trying there, because they know what their words are saying, and they're trying to follow the direction, but they also know the command that they heard it and it's calling them to do it, and it's very contradictory for them. And we're the same. The law of attraction is the same everywhere. And I don't mean to make it a conversation about kids, but it's like when we decide to do something and then we contradict it with the reasons why we can't, or it's going to be hard, or it's going to take a long time, right? We're resisting that. And in non-physical, there is no resistance. The whatever is present, no resistance. Oh, there would be some form of contrast, but nothing resists it. And that's the idea. Acknowledge, oh, not my preference. So I'm going to guess if Super Dave, there's coleslaw in non-physical, right? But you don't have to eat it, right? And we joke about that in Best Life, and we use it as an example a lot of times because it doesn't like coleslaw, right? And he's never going to have to like coleslaw or eat coleslaw, right? But that doesn't mean that there wouldn't be that equivalent of coleslaw, but there wouldn't be that any desire to push against it. He's not pushing against it now either, but it's very much like that. And it's nice to have light, easy examples. Some things you can see that are very evident all around.
I love that. And it's like you're having a buffet. You have many choices, and you don't go like, I don't want to eat this, I don't want to eat this, and this I don't prefer. But it's just like you are naturally looking for things you like to eat. And she talked about it also with that law she opened up Abraham, and she talked about it. Inner being knows what you want. Inner being knows what you like. She knows it knows it. You don't have to ask. Do I like this or not? You already know. You already have preferences. You already have enough experience that you know what feels good to you. These things that someone like swimming and someone like running. We have different experience that we feel good about, and we don't are on the buffet and naturally just I don't prefer this. This is don't like, and look for those things we don't like. We naturally want to have, oh, this is good. This is something I like. This looks good. And you eat it and you feel good. Mm-hmm. So and also when you are unconditional based, because that's when we talk about the non-physical. It's have no resistance. When you see something you don't like, you don't have no resistance to it. You just like, oh, you're moving on to the next. Oh, this is I like. You don't hold your attention to that. Oh, this is I don't like. And you start a story of telling that vibrational story of what is, in the energy of it. And I don't like this because of this and this, and then you're starting to feel overwhelmed. You just like, oh, you acknowledge it, and then you move on to the next because there is no resistance from that inner beingness. Mm-hmm. And then you move on to just like, oh, this is I prefer this. So then you build your up self for what you like, more of those things that feels good to you. You paying attention more to those things. And then also with the appreciation and all of this, there was so many goodness, she shared that I was writing, but we know it also for our own, and that's the most important thing. It's not about the outside. It's not from Abraham or Shisha, but it's for we have our own inner beingness. All of this, what we want, it feels good to us, and you will be directed, and also there will be contrast, but also to know the contrast from the non-physical is no resistance to it. And when we can tune more, and that's something else, when you tune in, tap and turn onto the non-physical, there will be no resistance to what is or to the contrast. But now you will, from that perspective, from being in the non-physical, from being in the pure source energy, from being in God, some call, and so many names, you feel good now, being tuned in the universe. Then things will align up for you. You will be lined up. It will align up for you more of those things that feels good to you, and you will be more aware of it, and you will putting more attention to it. And she talked about it, that attraction is an attraction. And when you're more up to what feels good to you, and you already feel good through all of this. I love what she shared in the end. That was so beautiful too, because she said, feel it now, anticipate it now. Practice the feeling of love. Practice the feeling of who you really are. And we are all in this together. But
Mhm.
this is the same pure low source energy in all of us. And when we
Mhm.
practice this vibration to feel it more and more and more, then it will be, the law of attraction say, attraction, attraction, attraction. It must come to you more and more of those experiences that you feel, that you practice, of this vibration of appreciation and love and all of this feel good feelings that is.
Mhm.
So
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, right. And we can tell more now because everything, with all everything that's occurring, it's like everything's under a magnifying glass, so to speak. So we can really tell if we're more focused on problems or solutions, right? But we also, when we see a problem or a contrast, do we push up against it or do we just acknowledge it, knowing the solution has been created? And when we can come into operating in that way, that's greater space of ease and flow. Oh, magnificent, magnificent to know, because we came here to appreciate all of it and to really know that contrast is a necessary component for the expansion of all that is, for the personal expansion we desire, um, and for the expansion of the universe as a whole. So, oh, and I'm going to see if I can, there we go, get Espen back in here, and you're back.
yeah.
Yes. So, all perfect. See, a little bit of contrast. You guys got a real in the moment demonstration, a little bit of contrast, no resistance, right back in. Now we switch sides of the screen, but hey, we're just
Yeah.
flowing forward. So, and that's the idea, to be easy about things, be easy about yourself. Abraham mentioned, because a lot of people are feeling some different things, different emotions. Like the feeling of being overwhelmed, or different things like that. But no, this all comes from trying to put the action before lining up the energy, right? Before knowing that you're an extension of non-physical energy, right? This is who we truly are. Knowing that contrast, great, means expansion. Knowing that when there is contrast, you can just choose what you prefer. You don't have to push up against it or rally against it or dig into it. You can just acknowledge it and flow forward in your preferred direction. And but here's what happens. Oftentimes when people don't do this, they experience feelings, negative emotions, right? As you should, or feelings of overwhelmment. And what's that feeling of being overwhelmed? It feels like I have more things to do than I have time to do them, right? And this just is just not quite lining up, right? Just not lining up the energy first, looking more at the amount to do than feeling the, like you were talking about just a moment ago, more than feeling the becoming, right? Because the moment you're desiring something, it's emotion, it's vibrationally in place, and then it's a process of feeling and flowing forward. Yeah, expansions on that, Espen.
I love every words and everything you share. I can feel your alignment and my own alignment. So, and we're all in this together, and it's so nice to
Yeah.
know that. I love that the clarification about, isn't it so free to know that the non-physical have no resistance, and when you can stay tuned in and practice its vibration, then whatever was happening, no matter what, everything can fall apart, and but still you can feel no resistance to it, because from that perspective you never see it from non-physical, never see the resistance in anything that is here, and it's an expansion of all of who we are and all what we do and have and all what we be, from it's it's the energy of all of it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
and we're all in this together. And there was
Yes.
so much expansion the other day. It's like she talked about that the collectively around the planet what happening now, and she talked about focus on the problem, not you not find a solution when you focus on the problem, but she talk about how to overcome something. And it's already overcome from the
Mhm.
perspective from who. You know, and that is again, if you're going into the non-physical, then it's already, there is nothing there. There is no resistance to it. Then it's already overcome. There is no energy to it. There is no like resistance to it. And when you practice this vibration in your non-physical, in your present new now, and being more in the present new now, and forward focus in the newness of it, then there is no resistance to your becoming, of what you desire, for what you are wanting to be, do, and have, because you will be guided on your way as well, and you will feel more fun and joy of all of this. You will ease up of this. You will feel ease and flow in all of it more and more, and
Oh,
you'll be guided on your way. So, like she's talked about it, your inner being knows already what you want. Your inner being knows already what you like. Your and these differences and those things, and it's expanding, it becomes more. And also when you, because always there's attraction, and then more you are observing things you like and you feel good about it, when you're thinking about it, then there will be more things to like and more things to feel good about, more things to experience, because we never stop now in this moment and wanting. We never stop desiring for more. We are naturally desiring for more, but we are also naturally feeling good for all of this, and that's
mm,
something. So
I love that. Oh, I love that feeling of more. I love that feeling of new. And I feel a way to explain this that may be even more clarifying in terms of the 5 steps. And really, the three are so important. So, step one, here we are, and we find some contrast. Something we want that we don't have, something we observe that's not our preference, whatever it is. Step one, the moment we have that contrast, what happens? Our non-physical aspect, right? Our inner being, God, source, the universe says, we have what you want, right? Come this way. So really, in terms of resistance, right? And Abraham, said there is no resistance in non-physical today, and that is 100% accurate. There is a little bit of contrast, but no resistance. When you are in step one, and step two, it's given, but you resist flowing towards that step three so you can receive what is given. That's your resistance. That's the piece that gums people up. They want to stay in step one. They're resisting flowing into step three. So it's knowing the moment you experience contrast, the easier you can allow yourself to just acknowledge it. You didn't do anything wrong. Nobody else did anything wrong. You want something because you want it. Somebody was rude to you. It's okay. Whatever, you acknowledge it. You don't have, and this doesn't mean discredit how you feel. You feel what you feel, but you acknowledge it with the knowing that what you want is created. And then you put all your focused attention on the solution. You just flow in that direction, just like she was talking about the end. You feel it. You feel it. You can feel it in the senses of your body. You can't see it maybe yet. Maybe it's not tangible. Maybe that new car isn't sitting in your garage, but you can feel what's in place. And you're not resisting the path to it. When you're not resisting the path to it or thinking you need to, I got to get some action in there. I better call up a bunch of car dealerships and I better start getting some numbers together and I better start doing. But instead you feel first and then you follow the guidance, knowing that, right? Our inner being is with us with complete 100% focus on us at all times. Their focus upon us never wavers. Our inner being is in everything we do, and this is such a brilliant process that they hold every desire we have vibrationally in a swirling vortex, so it matches us perfectly in every moment. Every moment it's recalibrating and recalculating to match exactly who we are, awaiting us whenever we're ready for that receival. And our inner being is always calling, right? And if we're resisting that, if we're going, No, I shouldn't be doing that. I need to do something more useful, right? But we had a real desire to do something, right? And when we're not following those impulses, we're resisting. We're resisting. This is the most important area to be aware, to feel those impulses. And how do we feel it the most? By really feeling our connection. Meditation. Espen, you do this with us every day. Do it for yourself. Take that 15 minutes where you feel that connection, right? Take some deep breaths during the day. Let those daydreams come in. Don't resist that which you've already vibrationally become. Would you like to expand on that, Espen?
I feel very much appreciated. Oh, this is good. And a lot of goosebumps all the time. So it's very good things, And I so appreciate it. I love the story Abraham talked about, and I would share my own personal experience with that too, because she opened up that thing about she was yeah, she had a friend of her who had a father who was in the hospital, right?
It
And
was
he
her, yeah, her father.
and he was to make his transition, so she did it best for helping him out. And then she wanted to be there all the time until he made his transition. But then she got a feeling of taking that shower and go home and take the shower. And in that period of time, when she got to take a shower, he transitioned to the non-physical, to the other side, to that pure law source energy. And Esther was, and she was a little bit upset about her friend about it. But Esther, what was you say? Can you tell her the story?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's
So
very good to
yes,
just continue on that.
absolutely,
Really
absolutely. Yeah, this was actually the transition. Esther has a couple sisters, and this was the transition of their father. And one sister lived very close, and she devoted her time with her father, was with him continually. And Esther had said that this sister was doing these wonderful things to improve his quality of life towards his final days, right? She was doing things with his oxygen so he could get extra oxygen and all sorts of delightful things. And then she decided to go, this beautiful devoted sister decided to go take a shower. And when she was gone, their father made his transition. And when now they came together, and Esther and her sisters, and the sister said how sad, how disappointed she was that she wasn't there, that he made his transition on his own. And of course, Esther was guided and channeled her father's energy. And he was so elated. He was so happy, so joy filled. And Esther was able to channel that energy for the sister and say, do not feel bad. Feel so good. This is the most wonderful thing. And it's, I see you. Yeah, you can feel it, right? It is. It's the most wonderful thing. We came here for this beautiful life experience, and it is wonderful. But they assured us, right, that the transition process is blissful. It is blissful. There is a complete letting go of all resistance, right? And remember, as we're here, we're as humans, we're resisting some stuff. But when those in non-physical are not resisting anything, and that sense of elation that comes from letting go of all that resistance is so sweet, so beautifully sweet. I would say the closest thing we have in comparison here is when we sleep, right? When you really are sleeping and you set down all the resistance, you set it down, but it's much more blissful in that transitioning place. And so then they went on to say, we're not encouraging anybody to be planning their transition or any such things, but also to know that we're
Yeah.
all ultimately going to be doing that. And, even, Esther even Googled, there's many thousands of people that transition in the US alone every day. I think like 75 to 7,700 people every day. So without any, just normal, any day of the year, like regardless. So all is well. This is happening always, 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 always. And, and it was really offered, in a way too, to be comforting, to all. And especially if you're somebody who's on, part of the healthcare portion of this, feel your alignment, feel that connection, feel that. And just allow that soothing energy. And if you're connected to somebody who's part of healthcare, see them feeling their alignment, see them feeling the ease of this, right? Just like that sister, it feels good to assist. Of course it does. But also knowing that that wonderful time of transition is wonderful. It's beyond human explanation. We don't want to rush it or any such thing, but all is good. The idea is that all of our human experience is, it feels as good as it can, right? Thank you for all that are providing that comfort. And ultimately, when we make that transition, well, it feels so good. I mean, blissfully good.
Mm.
So all is well.
I love it,
Oh,
Jan. And she talked about it, I want to feel alignment. I want to feel nice to her. There was a story about that. It's like come into the vibrational alignment and then you are nice to her. So it's a difference there. Just like when you come to the vibrational alignment, you're natural nice to all people, to everyone. And I will also, I can share a little bit, but like when
yes,
she talked
please.
about transition, and I remember because I got so much goosebumps when I listened to hear that story. And my grandfather was transitioned last year, and I remember I was immediately, and honestly, I was feeling sorry. I was feeling like sorrow, like oh, I shouldn't be there. He wanted me to come there. He wanted me to come to visit him and be there with him. And I when I heard about his transition, I felt sorry. I felt um, like a little bit like hurt. But then I
Like that
was
sister.
that was that feeling I had in that moment. I was like that was like, but then I was like, but grandfather, you're still here, aren't you? And right away, what happening? My energy transformed. There was a whirl, viral, like a vortex vibration, starting like this. It's just moving from my feet and all the way up. And I was asking this 5 times, the same, but you are here, just like, and the confirmation again, the vibrational vortex. She talk about that. Vibrate, stay tuned in the vibrational reality in your vibrational vortex, and here we go. And what happening? He confirmed from not where he was, but from where he is now. And what happened for me because of that, I acknowledge that the energy comes through and the vibration was that I didn't miss him anymore. I didn't have any sorrow feeling. And that is the first time in my life, honestly, that I actually feel that there was no pain, there was nothing, there was just energy come through, and then I was just like moving on to the next, just like he just like confirm it. Don't be sorry about it. I am here, and I'm pure love source energy, and there is more to come for you. We are all tuned in. We're all in this together. And right away, I felt like that inner peace and love I never felt before. And since I felt that, I feel that connection with my grandfather, and I have this picture from, and I feel like every time I look at the picture and feeling my alignment, I feel the vibration of who it really is. And I love also something Abraham talked about, abundance. And you should talk about that there is a balance, just like when you're breathing in and you're breathing out. And we take the last piece. Jen, can you would you love to expand on that one? Because that was really good. Because you cannot take just like in. There's a balance of in and out. So can you expand on it? That was a really, really good one. Because
Yeah.
You find that balance of that energy and feeling that energy comes, it's a really, really good one. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I loved the example that that Abraham gave, and it was about Esther actually, and she was feeling a little bit of aware that she was having almost out of paper towels. So, and she was feeling like, ooh. So, but here's the thing: you could say, well, she has a shortage consciousness. No, not at all. Not Esther, not at all. She has an abundance consciousness, right? And she knows, oh, I am almost out of paper towels, and they're not as readily available right now. Of course, she's aware, and she'll be guided to more paper towels, of course. But in the meantime, she is maybe using them a little more sparingly, right? Because she loves these, and it's knowing we're so adaptable, right? Right now, we are being called maybe to stay a little more in our homes. However, whatever your local your local officials are asking, right, to assist in all of this. Well, of course, that doesn't mean you have a shortage consciousness because you're in your home and you're aware of something that's you're not at. It's instead going, well, here I am. I'm going to make the most of these paper towels. I'm going to make the most of this experience with different parameters than before. Because now maybe you're more in your home and you can go for walks and different things. Knowing that what you want is there. There's more paper towels. We're we'll be fully back to normal. Well, call it normal, but to being able to go and come and go as we please very soon. But take this time to feel the abundance, to appreciate how you can appreciate unconditionally, appreciate how adaptable you are, appreciate how you can even clarify everything even more because abundance is natural. Our universe is always becoming more. And but abundance is two-sided, right? It's like breathing in and breathing out. So is all that is in this universe, right? Money in, money out, right? And they said the most beautiful example of abundance we have is our sun. It comes up every day, and because of that, it makes so much possible, so much more than we even understand possible. So, know all is well. Abundance is all around us. More paper towels, more of everything. No need to like try to drink it all in, right? So Esther, if she finds paper towels, doesn't need to go buy many hundreds of cases, right? She can just get a nice, the number of rolls she'd like, right? Same thing when you're breathing. Same thing with your abundance. Let it come, right? That feels comfortable and good, right? When you breathe, you don't over inhale. Breathe as it feels good. Exhale as it feels good. It's natural. It's all there for us.
I love that, Jen. I got a download right now when you say that. It's like when you're asking, it's just like asking, allowing, asking, allowing.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. That's beautiful.
Because that's
Exactly.
how we don't resist it. We don't resist that asking and allowing, and then from the non-physical energy, it comes through,
Mm-hmm.
and then
So
experience more. Not
yeah,
that's the art of allowing.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So good. And wow, what amazing. The time goes so fast. This is so
It
fun. I
does.
love it. This is so fun. This is so much joy. What an amazing, amazing time. And thank you, all of you who's here. And thank you, Jen, and amazing Jen, for all you've been expanding out with this, and Abraham
And
now,
thank
and
you guys.
thank you for all of you. And what an amazing, amazing expansion we are all in this together. We are, there is, it's getting easier and easier. We just know that your inner beingness feel the best from all of it, and you will be guided on your way in your own way. and you have the freedom to be yourself and do whatever you want and have whatever you want, and you're also free to letting everyone else to be who they want and do whatever they want and have whatever they want, because we are all in this together. So thank you so much, and thank you, Jen, and thank you all, and love you so much, and see you on Saturday.
Yes. Love you all.